Assalamu alaikum. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the strategies that helped me score band 8.5 in academic IELTS reading. Let's get started. I believe the most important skill that you need to learn to get a higher score in reading is prioritizing. In other words, you need to know which questions you need to answer first, second, third, and so on. If you don't, you might run out of time before you answer all the questions. Remember, time can be your best friend or worst enemy, and it depends on prioritizing. In academic IELTS reading, there are 3 passages and 40 questions that you need to answer in 60 minutes. The students who get 8 or 9 in reading can usually complete the first 2 passages in 30 or 40 minutes because they always start with easier questions, and that's exactly what you have to do first. To find the easier questions, you have to learn about the question types and the answers order. If you look at the last few pages of the very first Cambridge IELTS book, you'll see that the reading section is quite different from the one in the later editions. There is a detailed explanation of every single answer along with task types, which we call question types. I wonder why they stopped doing this. I mean, explanations like these would be of great help for all students. If you feel the same way, I have a surprise gift for you, and you will get it later in the video. Anyway, for you to be able to prioritize the questions given for a particular passage, you must know only 2 things: the type of the questions and the order of the answers. And you know what? It's very simple. In general, there are only 5 question types. Fill the gaps to label a diagram, fill the gaps with the words from a list, fill the gaps with the words from the passage, fill the gaps in a table. 2 short answer questions. 3 true, false, not given, yes, no, not given. 4 multiple choice questions. 5 matching headings, matching paragraph information, matching sentence endings, matching features such as names. Personally, I find gap fill and short answer questions easier. Therefore, I almost always start with these and leave matching tasks to the end so that by the time I get to them, I'll have a clear picture of what the passage is about and can easily do the matching. And the order of answers is also simple. For the following question types, the answers are usually, almost always, in order in the passage. However, answers to the following question types are never in order. Now, before we start testing our knowledge by prioritizing some reading questions based on type and order, let me give you 2 important tips about reading. And then we're going to learn how to answer the questions. When you're doing a tough question, use my 2-minute rule. It simply means that you should never ever spend more than 2 minutes on any question unless you have answered all 40 questions in 40 minutes and you are reviewing your answers. You know why? Let me show you something you probably didn't pay attention to at the beginning of the video. See that? It says each question scores 1 mark. So why waste your precious time on a mind-boggling, unanswerable, super difficult question that makes you rack your brain for 4 minutes and scores you only 1 mark when you can answer 4 beginner level, super simple, a piece of cake questions that score 4 marks in 2 minutes? You get the idea? But what if you can't find the answer even after 2 minutes? Then leave no blanks. This might seem one of the most obvious IELTS reading tips, but you would be surprised how many people leave blanks. Even if you have no idea what the answer is, try to answer every question. You might get lucky and get a higher score. One of my students was doing a multiple choice question one day, and it was passage 3. So it was like the hardest task. And he said, "Teacher, I just can't find the answers." And I said, "Take a guess." And he did. And what happened next gave him hope that he actually could get a good score in reading even though his English wasn't there yet. He got 6 correct answers out of 6. This means all the guessed answers were correct. So leave no blanks and guess when you are stuck. Okay, now we're gonna learn how to answer the questions. Passage 1. Okay, here's a simple IELTS reading passage. A rule of thumb for IELTS reading is never read the text first. Always start with reading the questions first. So let's look at the questions. Okay, a quick test. What type of question is this? How about this? Well, this one is obvious, right? Done with the question types. What do we do next? That's right. We need to remember for which questions the answers come in order. Do you remember? For all of these, the answers come in order, which is great because we can start with any of these question types. But there is another question. Which question type is the easiest of all three? Remember? You're right again. It's the gap fill. Since we're done with prioritizing the questions, we now can answer them, but remember, you don't have to answer the questions in order. You can start with any question you find easy. To me, easy questions are the ones that have what I call strong keywords, such as names, dates, places, weird words, etc. There are also weak keywords. In the first gap fill, the name William, even though it's a name, is a weak keyword because it's all over the text and not in one paragraph only. But the strong keyword is library. By the way, you must read the task carefully. Look, it says no more than 2 words. So make sure you stick to it. Now I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to pause the video to find the keyword library in the text and read around it and tell me the answer. Did you get it? Just to give you a demo, I'm going to show you the answer, but you're going to have to do the rest on your own. Deal? Great. Here is the answer. You see how the word learned has been paraphrased into taught himself? Now you know how to fill the gaps with the words from a passage. To practice it even further, pause the video right now and try to answer the rest of the questions on your own. Then you are going to see the keywords in the sentences and the passage. You have 3 seconds to pause. Okay, did you get all the answers? Here are the keywords to help you find the answers more easily. If you got 1 or 2 answers incorrect, just pause the video again to find out why it was incorrect in order to learn from your mistakes. Don't waste the incorrect answers because they are more useful than the correct ones. You can learn from them. Now, since short answer questions are easier than true-false, we're going to answer them next. Again, we're going to use the keyword technique, which is so popular among IELTS test takers. So, first, you're going to underline the strong keywords. Look at the question number 11. Which words are the strong keywords? Right, final tower, but you can also underline how tall. Pause the video and find the answer. You have 3 seconds to pause and answer all 3 questions. Here are the keywords. It's time to deal with a little bit more difficult question type, which is true-false. You know what to do, right? Underline the strong keywords such as electricity and transport and locate them in the text. You have 3 seconds. Done? Great. Here are the keywords. Let's move on to the second passage. In this passage, the situation is different, but you know what to do, right? Remember the type of the questions and the order of the answers, in starting with the easiest, which is what? Right. Fill the gaps with the words from the text. Okay, what do we do now? Underline the keywords and scan the passage. 3 seconds to pause. Go. Here are the strong keywords in the sentences and their synonyms or paraphrased versions in the passage. Here is a question to test your knowledge. Do the answers for multiple choice questions come in order? Remember? Right, they almost always come in order. That means we can start with the first question. Let's underline the strong keywords in the question and in the choices. Now, we're going to find the synonyms in the passage. As you can see, sometimes you can find the same words in the passage. No synonyms, no paraphrases. Now, pause the video and find the answers. Did you get them? Here are the keywords for the options. Okay, pause the video and try the next multiple choice questions on your own. 3 seconds. Here are the keywords. It's time for us to do the passage 3. As you can see, it has 3 question types: multiple choice, true, false, matching information. Which one would be the easiest of all? Well, to answer this question, you need to know for which question type answers come in order. You well know it's multiple choice and true false question types, and matching questions should be done last. Here, most of the multiple choice questions seem to be easier than true false statements because some of them say which paragraph contains the information. For this reason, we'll start with this. What's the keyword in the question 27? Right, dictation. What about the keywords in the choices? Here they are. With these keywords in mind, we'll now find the keyword dictionary in the passage. You can easily find the word in this sentence. Pause the video and read it to see if you can find the answer. It says, dictation sounded like an uninterrupted series of words, so scribers wrote these down in one long continuous string. From this, you can tell that the answer is B. Dictation affected the way people wrote. Okay, it's your turn to answer some multiple choice questions. Remember, you shouldn't spend more than 2 minutes on any question. Pause the video and answer the questions. Could you do it? Here are the keywords that can help you find the answers. You know what to do with true-false statements, right? Find the keywords in the statements and then in the passage. Remember, answers are always in the correct order in the passage. If you look carefully, the question 32 seems to be difficult. Remember, you should never spend more than 2 minutes on any question. If it's too difficult, skip it. You can come back to it later. Okay, pause the video and try to answer the question 32. Could you do it? Okay, here are the keywords in the statement, but if you look at the paragraph 5, you will see that it says, television reduced the time we spent reading. But the question is, reading what? Newspapers or websites? So you must have guessed that the answer is not given. But where is the answer to question number 33? Right, in paragraph number 6, because the previous answer was in paragraph number 5. Now, pause the video again and answer the questions 33 to 36. I hope it wasn't difficult for you to do this one. Here are the keywords in the statements and in the passage. Alright, the last question type is called what? Right, matching information. You deal with this the same way you dealt with true-false. First, underline the keywords in the sentences and then in the options. Then look for the answer. Go. Here are the keywords that can help you locate the answers if you haven't already done so. And here are all the answers to all the questions. I said it before and I'll say it again. Do not waste your incorrect answers. Look at the passage again and try to figure out why your answers were wrong so that you can learn from them. Alright, one last thing. Remember, in the beginning of this video I said that there was a gift for you if you were having a hard time understanding why some of your answers are incorrect. The gift is a book titled Cambridge IELTS Reading 5 to 13 Explained, which you can download from the link in the description. This book makes the reading preparation process so much easier and everything becomes 100% comprehensible. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button so that others can see the video as well. Thanks for watching. Peace.